Hey everybody, welcome back to Your Spoonful. Today we'll be making bread. You don't do it every day, but trust me, after this you must start. At least I hope. Well, let's roll the intro. So this recipe was one of the first breads I ever made myself. Not really. You'll see the very first bread that I made for reals in the next week's video. But let's get back to the video. As well, so I won't, because it's quite easy to make, and if you know how to make this bread, you can know how to make pizza dough as well, because it's the same principle. So let's get to it. So what you're gonna need is a strong bread flour, dried yeast, sugar, salt, olive oil. Same things that go as well in the pizza recipe, but that's for the future. Or fast, we'll see. First of all, make sure that you have a correct ratio of flour to water. It's better to have 2 to 1, so 2 times flour to 1 times water. In this case, we're going to use 400 grams of strong flour, 200 milliliters of water. Water has to be lukewarm, but not too hot, because what you have to do is put your sugar and yeast there. But if your water is too hot, you're going to kill the yeast, which we don't want, because that's going to make our bread nice and fluffy. So put it in a lukewarm water with, let's say sugar and yeast. Mix it well a bit and leave it there for a bit so it starts bubbling up. Meanwhile, weigh your flour, create a well in the middle. When its liquid is having bubbles popping up, you can add it to your flour and also add some olive oil. Don't worry to add a bit too much olive oil, because there's never too much olive oil. And then start slowly beating it together. At some point, you're gonna have sort of like this lumpy dough piece. At that point, drop it on the table and start kneading it. Usually you don't need to knead it too much. After 5 to 10 minutes, it should be done. So if you want to have a little warm up before your workout, you can use that. After you have kneaded the dough for 5 to 10 minutes, and you have like this little nice uniform shape of a ball of a dough, you can drop it in a bowl with some olive oil to cover it, and put the with a damp tea towel. So make sure that there's no crust appearing on the top of the dough, because we don't want that. Leave it aside to double up in size, but the longer you leave it, the better the flavor will be. Usually when I do my pizzas or my breads, I like to leave them like overnight. But if you have just 1 hour, that also should be enough time to get it to doubling the size. So when that's done, you can take your dough out, put it in a tray, spread it out, and start sort of like pressing with your fingers the holes. That's where you're gonna put your stuff, or toppings if you want. There's olive oil, there's olives, there are just rosemary, garlic, some dried tomatoes, caramelized onions. Go crazy with that. I'll just go with simple olives and rosemary. I'm gonna drizzle some on top of more olive oil, and also drop some fleur de sel, or fleur de sel, which is like sort of like flaky salt. If you don't have that, you can also go for sea salt. Again, it needs to rest a bit after all that pressing with the fingers for 20 more minutes. In the meanwhile, you can put your oven to 220 degrees Celsius. And by the time it reaches this temperature, your dough should be rested enough to put it in the oven. And then this needs to be baking for 20 minutes. Let's see what happens after 20 minutes. After baking for roughly 20 minutes, we have a homemade bread. What can be better than that? And so it smells nice, fresh out of the oven. You can hear the crunch at the top, plus that. Flaky salt gives a little nice, like pots of saltiness that just also crack in your mouth under your teeth. Homemade bread. Also, the little thing that's always gonna make me happy. So I hope you guys can also give this recipe a try to make yourself happy. If you did enjoy this video, guys, please click on the like button, share it with your friends if you want them to make it for you, or if you want to just figure out how to make your own bread with them. If you want to see more of these videos in the future, please click on the subscribe button just down there, and I'll see you in the next video. See you guys!